we welcome from ESPN your analyst, Merril Hoge, to the studios.
Merril Hoge.
John
running
now,
back extraordinaire.
We have to open up today with Bubby because Bubby has such a
your
huge
buddy.
weekend, and they just
This is good.
love him.
They're
in
saint in
Denver.
Denver all of a sudden.
They love him, and it's couldn't happen to a nicer guy, right? I mean, he gets out there, his career's over, and now it's just exploded for him. And what a great thing.
You know what's funny? I talked to him just after the Washington game. In fact, on some Sundays I'll do the ESPN radio from like 1 to 7. And after the 1 o'clock games, we get a player from various games.
Yeah. Right.
So we made sure we got Bubby after the game, and his interview was of classic proportions. He starts out
how many bleep words
okay, I would
did
say he
have?
started out. You can't bleep it because it's live, but there would have been a potential 4 to 6 bleeps.
So it just went out. It went out
one.
over the air.
We'll go Brister, but at the end he goes, bro, hey man, I hate to go, but he goes, got a cold one waiting for me, and bus is moving, and I got a cold
Got
one
stuff
waiting
going
for me.
on. Yeah, got to have a beer and get out of there, man.
It was the greatest
He's
interview.
a partier.
He is. I mean,
His character.
Do you appreciate him more now because you're interviewing him and you're on the other end of it?
no, I appreciated him. I appreciated an article I read after the Raider game. Rod Smith was talking about. I know that they asked him, well, what's Bubby like in the huddle? They must ask him that question.
Right.
It's definitely different than when John's in there.
And so he'll swear, yell the whole 9 yards in the huddle, and he would just go nuts on
There's
people.
never been a huddle.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I remember one time well, it was when Joe Walton was our offensive coordinator, and
Right.
we
So
had
he was a bit frustrated
mass
at that
confusion
time.
I mean, nobody knew. I mean, Bubby may
Right.
have got heat from. Well, he got in the huddle and he was he was mother effing everybody, leaving people out. And he called some play, and I remember I think Damani said, "Hey, Bub, we don't have that play." I don't care, run the play.
Run the play. We don't have the play.
In fact, we were playing the Saints. I remember playing the Saints, and he called a play in the huddle. And this is one time they called a formation that we hadn't ran in like 8 weeks, and I was like, man, I don't know where I line up. And and everybody had a question, and we were walking to the line of scrimmage, and I said, hey, Bubby, where do I line up? And he's like, yeah, line over there. And then I said, well, what do I was I didn't ask what route I run. I was make something up when I
You
got
knew it was a pass or a run. You know
offensive
that,
line
right?
is like, hey, what type of protection? I know it was a pass. It was a pass.
Okay.
Bubby's on the line of scrimmage. He's telling them it's on 2 and telling them the offensive line that protects which way we're sliding.
He's
I mean, he's
so
telling
basically
everybody.
he's telling the
He's
Saints
telling
and
everybody
everybody
at the line of scrimmage what's going on, right? Now listen. Ultimately, what's the funniest thing is Worley goes at the end. I mean, there's like 3 seconds. Hey, Bub. He goes, what's it on? Turns around, he goes, you mother, it's on 2. What's the best part is when Bubby turns around to take the snap, Worley flips him off, right?
No.
Yeah, he flips him off. And I was like, I looked over at the Saints, they're just like, oh my God. And you know what's funny about the whole play? We rip a 25-yard completion off. Remember I told you I didn't know what route to run?
Yeah.
Well, they snapped the ball, and everybody kind of went to the middle of the field. And I was like,
so you're like,
nobody over here to the right, so I go to the right.
Why not?
And you know what's the classic of the whole thing? We got into films on Monday, and everybody got their tails ripped for running the play wrong. We got 25-yard completion. We got down the 5-yard line.
You caught it?
I caught it the 5-yard because all the coverage went to the middle. I was like, well, nobody's over here, so I run over here, and Bubby found me, threw the ball to me, and
Thanks, man. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you guys.
Merril Hoge from ESPN.